Yeah, well, good morning. I think today's going to be hoping today's going to be a good day. I had definitely hit a low spot last week. Same old story as always, but definitely a timely reminder, and at the end of the day, a motivator. Work is just work. It's just a fucking paycheck. That's all it is. And it gave me a timeline, a goal. I actually have business cards coming. I did that earlier last week, the week before. I ordered them. They're in the mail. I know that much. And they're really good. I'll show them to you the design is on Facebook, so it's a very clean, very good design. I'm happy with it. And part of that is it's a little bit of it's that calling card, so I can give that to the people I know who the current real estate agent and Ray. Give a couple of those to the people I know are going to refer me, and that's a very professional calling card, a very professional way to say, hey, I mean business. It's a small detail, but it's something that over the years I've had temporary cards. More often than not, I've not had a card, and I think it has hurt me. So I think that having the card is a good muy importante. But yeah, I just, work is work. It's just a paycheck. Remember, I had this whole kept reminding me, and just rewatched the rise and inevitable fall of the corporate cog muncher, that grand episode of Webcams that nobody watches. And it's just the same old story. I deliver a piece of art, and they choose to go with the paint by numbers bullshit. And you know what? It's demoralizing. It's humiliating. And enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm at a point where, I know I can do better. And I'm at a point where I know that if I don't do better for myself, if I'm not doing better for myself, it's going to be the same story everywhere I go, because it has been the same story everywhere I've been. So I know the niche. I know I'm putting together a list of businesses that, I just drive by, and I see they're, sorry. There's a couple of scooter stores. There's one scooter store, like a moped scooter, that I've wanted to go to for a while and offer services to. And then there's another store. There's another shop. It's an automotive service and audio shop. It's wonderful. It's like this one-stop shop for all your car needs, automotive needs. You can get an oil change and a new stereo at the same time, which I think is great. And I looked at their website and their resources, and it's minimal and not grand. So I want to offer. So what I'm doing is I'm putting together a list of potential businesses, and that's my niche, small business owners, and then that's kind of it came to. I realized that was the premise. That's the pitch. Corporon Creative is creative support for small business owners. Creative backup. I didn't want to say I was backup and support. Support probably is the best word. But again, the goal is come April to have completed the transition, and it just gives me something to focus on. It gives me that deadline. I have this tendency where at night I can be super pumped and excited and motivated and optimistic, and in the morning, in the cold light of morning, I'm like, God damn it, this is never going to happen. And I'm learning to kind of mitigate those emotional swings and just stay focused on April. Another aspect of it is that, I want to, it's my 28th birthday in April, and I want to be, do you want to look back on your life and go, well, he kept working for this, slaving away for someone else in jobs that made him miserable? Or do you want to look back and be able to tell the story? At 28, he officially started his own business, and, win or lose, succeed or fail, at least it's done. At least I tried. At least I took a stab and did it officially. And if if it's not going to be now, if it's not, it's the only alternative is ongoing misery. So I'm motivated and focused, and I have goals and horizon lines, and yesterday I finally went out and inventoried 2 properties for the real estate agent. And Rob, I suppose once I process the material and get the website up, and I'm gonna put together, I need to refine my services page actually, yeah. What I was thinking this morning was refining the services page on Horborong and doing a specific real estate services page and showing that material and showing those samples. But now I'm thinking, what a great idea to do. I have that master portfolio playlist, which is, I think, wonderful, but for someone who, there's a lady in Seattle, a intuitive, who I'm trying to get to a place where we can start working together, and I think it's just hard to, I don't think she's very comfortable on camera, so if I can't be there to shoot video for someone, I require them to be able to, the Trip and Rochelle situation. They need to be able to shoot the video themselves, and I'll take it the rest of the way. But I think it would be better. It would be a good idea for a person for people like that, for real estate, the specific niches that I serve, to actually put together these custom pages that show what I do and show those specific samples, rather than here's a playlist of all of my best creative work. I think that might be a smarter way about it. Yeah, anyway, I will be putting together this custom real estate services page, and Rob, you'll be able to crib that right off of the website. But for once, I don't really care. I don't mind that someone's stealing from me, because there's certainly, as far as the real estate goes, I think it's a wide open market, and it's just one of those things where you put together the idea, and the first person in there that does it right is gonna have a field day with it. And Rob, you're in a completely different geographical area, so have at it. But here's the thing: I really, really suggest. You built a custom Steadicam, though, didn't you, for your camera? So you actually are probably set. I have the Smoothie Steadicam for the iPhone GoPro, and I walked through with that, and it went well. I need to edit the videos, and I'm still going to run it through the Final Cut Pro image stabilization for a little bit to smooth it out even more. But I think what I'm going to do, because the videos are long and unnecessarily long, so I'm going to use sections. I'm going to cut it down into the individual sections, and then just lay some music and some titles, and I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be, as far as a real estate video, like a walkthrough of a piece of property, it's definitely going to be better than most. And the other thing, Rob, the thing is, with the real estate market, you're not so much selling, as with anything, you're not selling a product for the homeowner. You got to sell the real estate agent. And the thing about the real estate agents, chances are they're not too technically there. Again, that's the idea. We're bringing creative support to uncreative small business owners. So all you have to do is pitch the wow factor, really sell them on that. And it is going to be beneficial. It is going to be helpful. It still falls to them to get that material in front of their potential buyers. But if you can wow the real estate agent, you can close the deal. And I think that's going to be the process. And I've got a list of real estate, a variety of real estate people. So I'll probably cold call them or email them and send them that link to that custom real estate page to show them what I do and what I bring to the table. With the photography, the video, and the 360s. And I'm just gonna line them up, schedule them out, and go nuts. It's gonna be awesome. And it's gonna be rough when I get the cards, that's when I'll really go full tilt. But it's going to be difficult because I'm going to pretty much be working. I'll probably cut back on the hours a little bit, so I can get out of work an hour earlier or something. And I'm switching my schedule so I have available Friday afternoon or Friday morning, depending on the need. But it's going to suck because I will be working full time, and then pretty much scheduling all of my free time, scheduling the weekends full of whatever gig I can, whatever gig comes up first. It's going to be good for money. It's going to suck for for time management, for having any free time, but I still have to show that I can make that transition. I can't just quit and go for it as much as I want to. I have to show that the work is there, and I have to prove to myself that I know how to go after the work. But it's definitely time. It's definitely time. It's definitely the time for me, and that's all there is to it. So yes, yesterday I did that stuff. It worked really well. I've mentioned this a few times already, and I will say it again. I got I'm stuck behind these people, and I want to get around them because it sucks. I got the iPad Mini. I got a 32 gigabyte cellular version. The Friday evening before I actually pitched the real estate agent, I went to Best Buy to just look at it, and I will say that the lack of a Retina display is noticeable and extraordinarily disappointing. However, the form factor is as close to ideal. I mean, I could probably go smaller so that it's pocketable, which is something I would very, very much like. So like a 6.9 inch device or a 6.5 inch device. But I'm open to the fact that if I got the smaller device, I would then use it and be like, oh, it's too small. I don't like this. So for now, I'm indulging the larger form factor. Aside from being able to put it in a pocket, it is very ideal, and I'm really glad that I did end up getting it. And there are two reasons I got it. Two primary reasons. Since it was the night before, I'm making this pitch, and one of the core elements of the pitch is the 360 panoramas. I'd been playing around with iOS apps on my iPod Touch. iPod Touch does not have the version, the old one that I have doesn't. It has very low quality cameras, so it's not a very good device to be taking 360 panoramas with. But that's the only iOS device I have that I can take around with me and pitch with. The other thing is the phone situation with Verizon. We are officially a month away, less than a month away from canceling that entirely. I've got the iPhone 5 for Sam that's unlocked and ready to go. Just has to be activated on T-Mobile. But several years ago, what I tried to do with the original iPad 3G was use the iPad as my data device, and I switched back to a generic flip phone, a simple flip phone. And I like that idea. I like the idea of a phone that's just a phone, and the affordability of a phone that's just a phone. It's very delightful. You never have to charge it. I mean, it's just dependable. It's the phone. And then the data device, I mean, between iMessage, as soon as I make the transition with the iPad mini, obviously I have iMessage to begin with, but there will also be, I'll also be using Google Voice again. It didn't work out very well the first time, but again, it might be commitment issues and a tablet that's not fully portable. With referring to the original iPad 3G. The iPad mini is a really, really good form factor. I really do like it. It's really good to hold. It's beautifully designed and constructed. The fact that it's cellular, and I'm running it right now. I have the cheapest data plan. It's $20 a month for a gig of data, because I have Wi-Fi almost everywhere I go. All day at the office, at home. I mean, I'm pretty well connected with Wi-Fi, and so far the 1 gig, granted it hasn't been a month yet, but I think it's serving me very well. And I've already, between the pitch with the real estate agent, yesterday hitting up those 2 properties, it has been indispensable, because one, I can shoot and demo the 360 panoramas right there in the device. Number 2, the cellular gives me that portability. I use it as my in-car GPS, so I can find the places I'm going with Apple Maps, which I haven't had any problems with, fortunately. And that just constant connection with iMessage, and I mean, I genuinely have not used my phone, my Droid Razr for weeks now, 2 weeks. I left it at home the other day, and I was like, oh, I left my phone at home. Whatever. Cellular connection, and then during the pitch, one of the cool features about the iPads with cellular prepaid is that you don't have to pay to use the hotspot feature. You don't have to pay, you don't have to hack it, you don't have to use random apps, you don't have to pay the extra $20 a month for a limited amount of it is set up where all you have to do is turn it on. You have to flip the switch, and you turn on the hotspot, and whatever data you're paying for, you can just link up to your computer or whatever. So that was indispensable when I made my pitch, and moving forward as I get ready to develop more clients and bring in more clients, I think that's going to be a big selling point, a big not a selling point, but a tool to make my pitch, because I can't do everything on the iPad. There are things that need to be demonstrated on the computer. So it's all good. I'm very, I have the cash for it. I had the cash for it. It's still a big purchase, but totally worthwhile, and totally fits into what I want to do. So I do like it. It's a good e-reader. But that fucking low-res display sucks. It's weird because one of the things that I try to acknowledge is that my MacBook Air display, and the cinema display that I stare at, hours all day long, are still lower PPIs than the iPad. But the thing is, the iPad, I think, is generally used about this distance, from your face. It's, you're not holding it at arm's length. It's more right here. But a laptop, a laptop display, or your computer display is genuinely more at arm's length. And my work computer is probably even farther. So the lower PPI on those really are less noticeable, unless you're hunched over and looking really close, leaning really in. That's when it becomes bothersome. So I will upgrade. I will upgrade if using it as if the experiment. If the second round of the experiment works, where you have the cellular iPad mini and the flip phone, if that works really well for me, I'll just upgrade when the Retina one comes out and sell the iPad mini. Or if Sam wants to downgrade from the full size iPad, there you go. But I'm gonna start my own business by the time I'm 28. Stay tuned. Stay creative.